light skin wiggle.
How basketball saved my life. With your host at the easy button. At Twan the Don. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, chat. Life tried to drown me. This hoop is like my life jacket. This ice in my veins is something Titanic. Lockdown defense kept me out that center for detention. Divine intervention passes over to my center. Alleyways of the alley-oops. Some got no looks and passed away when somebody shoots. Back in court duos, but nobody hoops. The wrists follow through, but the cuffs gotta loop. Pick a book or pick that biggie book. It's just you and I, out running suicides. Me, I was out running suicide. Boy, I'm going in, dropping gems that I picked up in these gyms. I can't slack, I've been down and back. I'm just trying to share a few tales from this thing called life. Count my assists, and I swear that basketball really saved my life. Yeah, chat, I swear it saved my life. Let's go.
Welcome to another episode of How Basketball Saved My Life. I'm your host, The Easy Button.
Your boy Twan the Don.
And I got my man Javon J5 Nettles in the building. What's crack-a-lackin', Brody? Appreciate you coming on and kicking it with us, man. So talk to me, man. How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
You know, I ain't know if you was gonna come or not, if you was capping, if you was showing.
Capping.
You know what I'm saying? My man Twan, I ain't know if he was coming or not. I ain't even know if I was coming. You know, it's been a long week, man, but you know, we came here.
We be getting it.
And we got gems to drop. So without further ado, let's get it in.
Get it popping. So, man, I know basketball doesn't save everybody's life, but if you weren't playing basketball, what you think you'd be doing?
If I wasn't playing basketball, what I think I'd be doing? That's actually a good question, and I can answer that in so many ways. And then I think we'll get to that later on in this podcast. But I think I would probably either be playing football,
okay,
and if not football, and if basketball didn't work out. Honestly,
you'd be slinging these drugs.
I think I'd be. That's what I was about to say. I think I would be another gangster on the street.
Nah, like for real, because don't you have some older brothers or something like that?
I do.
Talk to me about that. What it's like being, you know, the younger brother, you know, in west side stuff. Talk to me.
Man, it's tough. But they're different. They're in a different space than I am. So I'm the second to the youngest. I got one younger brother I'm 14 months older than he is.
How many of y'all is there?
So there's four of us total, and my sister, she's the oldest.
Okay, got you.
And
mine's the total opposite.
So you got more sisters than a brother?
Nah, I'm the oldest, but the sister is the youngest.
Oh, okay, okay. And they're so my two oldest brothers. The one that's a couple years older than me. He's the big time gang.
He's the OG.
He's the OG. He's the one that's leading the troops and making all the shots. And
you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody going to get my man's, right?
No.
In the past tense.
Back then, like it was
time.
Changed his life around. You know, goes to church on Sundays. You feel me?
He's got another daughter now. So
he got his family man. He donates to charities.
Family man.
all that.
Yeah. So no, he kind of introduced us all to it, and he got involved because of his siblings on his dad's side. And so the other thing about that too is all of us, we all have different dads.
Copy.
So there's 5 of us, 5 different dads.
That's how it is in my household.
Yeah. So
I don't have the luxury of saying that.
You know, I mean, it's a unique thing. And I don't know my dad's side of the family. The last time I saw my dad I was in the 4th grade, and my mom told me, and I've never looked him in the eye, so I can't even tell you what he looks like.
Yeah.
And so every time I saw him, it was always in the nighttime. And when I would go see him,
either like a superhero or a robber, which one?
I mean, honestly, it was dark. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
Why? Why at night? I'm curious, so I'm gonna drill the mess out you.
No, that's good. And I actually been talking about my mom or talking to her about this recently because I'm older now. I feel like I can ask these questions.
Right.
And I will get it out there. I don't care to meet him.
Right.
Because for me in my head, I said, if he didn't come to my high school graduation, then he don't care about me.
Right.
So, so we were having to go see him at nighttime, and I figured out what it was for. It was child support. And so, cause he's married, and he's got other kids on that with
So
his wife and stuff.
that's when he could escape. Was that night?
Yeah, that's when he can get out, cause he was a electrician, I believe, for the city of Inglewood. And so we would just go meet him in Inglewood. And it was every couple months or so. And I would only get to talk to him for 10 minutes. It was, how you doing? Good. How are your grades? Good. Everything going all right? Yeah. You need anything? No. Here's some money.
Yeah.
Boom.
And
I'm out the car. And I go back in the car, and my mom and him are staying in his car, and I fall asleep because it's late. And so when I was in 4th grade, going up there to see him the last time, my mom told me it was gonna be the last time you see him.
And it was.
I didn't know why. I didn't ask questions at this point. I mean, I'm in 4th grade. I don't really know what's happening. I just, every time I see him, I get some money so I can go buy some new shoes, or I can get something to eat. And so that was the last time that I saw him. Gave him a hug, kissed him, told him I love him, and that was it.
That was it.
I have not seen him since.
Wow.
And so that's.
So that happened, right? And then after that, so it's just basically you was following in your brother's footsteps after that until what? Is that when sports came into your life?
So sports, it came into my life pretty early. We all love being out and doing stuff. So we were playing, no matter what it was. I was a skateboarder. I was a biker.
They don't understand. On the West, we really dabble in a lot of activities.
Everything. Yeah, you did everything you could.
Bro, I tried the skateboard life. I tried it briefly. I skinned my knee one time, and that was it. I was like, my knee's already black enough, boy. I'm good.
No, you had, so the real skateboarders, I'm sure you know about this, your shins had all kinds of lumps on it from when you would try to do kick flips or something like that, and the skateboard would come and hit you in your shin. That was the worst pain you could get, and you just went along with it because that's just what happens.
So y'all skateboarded.
Yeah.
Skateboarding, so bicycles.
Well, he think he in the movie ATL. The way he try to rollerblade. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's the thing.
For real.
Skateland was the place to be.
Hey, you don't feel pain till that metal pedal on the bike slide back and hit you in the shin. You feel them kind of pains. But we was active though. We ain't have all that social media and video games like that. We were an active group. Like I feel like our generation probably was one of the most active bunches before all this social media took over and kind of brainwashed.
We blame MySpace.
Tom.
We blame Tom.
Yeah, that is true. But even before that, it was AIM. Y'all remember AIM?
But that wasn't really social media though. That was just instant messaging.
It was.
But how you get it online?
Yeah. I had to go to the library. I had to go to the public library, log in there, and start talking to people. Bro, that is so that goes back to the point. It was the moment you woke up. I've never eaten breakfast, so we don't. We didn't have breakfast. But you wake up and you just get on your skateboard or your bike and you go wherever. You just get up and go. Going all day long
till nightfall.
And you just my mom's rule was you had to be home before the street light came on.
That's everybody's mom's rule.
I'm
sorry to break it to you.
That's everybody's rule.
I mean,
sorry.
That's just what the rule was, and so it was just her, and she worked from 2 p.m. to 10:30 at night, and so we didn't have a father figure around. It was just my mom and all of us,
and them prime hours too.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the times where
that's crazy.
It goes down.
Mm-hmm. That's the most happened. So she did that for a long time. So we had to growing up in that situation. We had to grow up quick. And I credit my brothers and my sister especially because she was the oldest one, like I said, of all of us, and she had her first kid at 16. So I was an uncle at like 7.
Golly.
I was an uncle at 7. And So we had to grow up quick just because all we had was each other. So our saying that we got, and my brothers and them got it tattooed on them. I don't have it yet, but the saying is we all we got.
We all we got.
We all we got. And you know, that so with that mindset, we look out for each other.
Yeah,
we take care of each other. And pretty early on, my brothers knew, because my oldest brother was the one that gave me a basketball.
Right.
And back then, and one, you remember and one?
Boy, and like no other.
Right, that's all you did. You
they used to hold the tryouts and sat. Boy,
they did.
Yes.
Man. So hot sauce was everybody wanted to be hot sauce. So you want to go out and do all his moves.
The operator.
Air up there.
Air up there.
I'm asleep.
Half man, half amazing.
Yeah.
They had some
Skip
dogs.
to Malou. Shout out to him because he ended up playing with T-Mac, and y'all know T-Mac my favorite player.
And one was the truth. Everybody.
It was.
If you didn't rock and ones, have an and one gear, because I know y'all trying to hate on it now.
Y'all, I'm salty.
That
They
was
make
one of the
and one
top
shoes
stuff.
so trash because it was fire,
Like
bro.
champion now, that was and one back when we was growing
Like
up.
champion is hot now.
Boy,
And one is not.
and one is champion now. It's opposite.
What is going on? But anyways, go ahead.
So yeah, we would just, that's what I started watching basketball. So it was all street
Put that ball. Your brother put the ball in your hand.
Put the ball in my hand, and from there I just took off.
What age was that?
It was pretty early. I was in I want to say it was about 4th grade, because I was thinking about, you know, the whole thing that happened with my dad. Like, you know, that stuff happens, and I don't know what I'm just continuing to go on, but I think he's just giving me another outlet. Because like I said,
how old was he? Because that's pretty smart. You know, that's pretty aware of him. He was.
Yeah, he was.
Was it more of putting in your hand, or was it more of, well, I'm big brother, so you're going to have to go places with me, so you're going to kind of love the stuff that I got too?
I think it was more of that.
Because you like,
I was about to say, because if it was what I said, that means this dude was super beyond his years. Like,
but he is, though, because he's quiet, and he's a thinker. And you know, and like now he is still that way, where
he donates to charities.
He doesn't talk much, but he doesn't talk much. But when he says something, it's powerful.
Good Samaritan.
He is a good Samaritan. But, so I went everywhere with him and was learning the game, and he was good. I was in awe every time watching him play. He's a lefty, and so. I was like, and my whole thing, and maybe I'll tell you a story about how I broke my nose, but for him, I was like, if he can do that, and everybody love what he's doing, like I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah.
Because I was the one, like your kids, like you do a good job of that right now with just having your son with you.
Right.
But I would go and I would sit there and just watch. I'd watch them all.
He ain't watching yet. This fool do everything but watch, but he's soaking it in.
Just having him around it, though.
Right.
Eventually, he'll make that shift. And so that's what I did was, okay, if he can do that, like I can do that too. So I started working on it, and so the place to go was Balboa Park, and they had 2 courts. They had the courts where the men played, and then the court on the side where the kids and people that couldn't play on this court had to play. And I wanted to get on the big dude court.
Trash cans.
Yeah, pretty much. And so,
just kidding.
Or the young bots. Or the just young bots.
And so I was like, my goal was to get on the big
That's the
court.
goal.
That was the goal. And so I was playing it from the moment I woke up to the moment I fell asleep. And we had a court outside in the street, and everybody in the neighborhood would come down to our house and we'd play. We play a full 5-on-5 basketball game in this middle of the street with our basketball court against the curb.
That's fire.
And it was some of the best pickup games that we've ever had.
I had some of those.
Is it safe to say that basketball was your first love, or was skateboarding?
No, basketball.
Basketball.
First love.
We dabble in a lot at a young age, and people don't really realize. Some people probably have different first loves before they found that actual first love.
Mm-hmm.
So,
my first love was soccer.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's real.
That's dope. Yeah, no, but I did like rollerblading. I did like skateboarding and biking a whole lot. But once I got basketball and started paying attention to it, that was like
instantly.
Yeah,
yep. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
And so, but I started playing after school, and it was fun, and it was kind of became easy for me. because it was just super.
So all y'all hoop, all your brothers and
we all did.
Like, no, y'all ain't play no other sports yet.
No, didn't play any other sports. We just played basketball, and then we became like the group. So all four of us, we'd go up to the school. My brothers would come up after school, and everybody was like, y'all are the thing. I want to be on y'all team. But It was four of us.
Right.
We always played together.
So y'all needed one person. Y'all needed one person.
slot.
And it didn't matter who it was.
Because y'all was going to run it anyway. Y'all was going to run it anyway. Boy, you just a body.
You just on here because we need 5. And so then, and that's when we started, that's when I realized, okay, this is a big deal. Like, people actually like this stuff. And it was just fast.
West, it's basketball state.
Yeah.
Period, point. So, I mean,
It is.
We love to hoop out there.
Yeah, because and soccer wasn't a big deal. Football wasn't a big deal. Only thing you did was basketball. Right. YMCA basketball.
Even outside at the parks, though. Like, you don't see a lot of park hooping like that. But
no, it's sad. It's sad.
That's honestly
empty.
That's where I got good, is playing at the parks, not in the gym. Playing at the parks is really where I got good. So
that is
double rims.
Yeah, and like that is where that was your battleground.
Right.
And that was your training. That was your practice.
Didn't help when And 1 came out too. So.
No,
because it was all outside.
That didn't help at all.
People surrounding the courts. Everybody wants to watch.
Bro.
And so that's how it was. And I had a coach there at the school. Because like I said, but my mom's, so keep in mind, like my mom's work schedule for 2 p.m. to 10:30 at night. And so she doesn't get home till almost midnight. And so after school ended at 2 something, we were there every day.
So y'all really not seeing moms.
No, we really wasn't seeing my mom. I would stay up because we're all mama's boy.
Right.
Like, I'm proud of that. I'm a mama's boy.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to moms.
Me too. Yeah. Mama know that.
Yeah. And so I would wait up for her most nights, and just so I could say, hi, how was your day? Good night, I love you. Because I knew I wouldn't see her again until
the next night.
Until the next night.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we were walking to school. I was walking myself to school in the 1st or 2nd grade. I mean, just because she had to sleep because she had to go to work. But so we were at the school every night until 6 o'clock. So then that's when, that's when basketball became a big deal because we were there getting good. People wanted to try to be like us.
Right.
We had to stay above everybody.
Right.
But then that's when I got into, you ever play Capture the Flag?
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Oh, yeah.
That was like you put your showcase on, like you juking people, and you gotta get the flag. You gotta outrun people.
You gotta explain to those people that may not know what capture the flag is.
So
do they play that in PE anymore?
Boy, they call knockout gotcha. So I doubt they play.
Exactly.
I doubt they play capture the flag. They be like, let's play gotcha. What in the frick
gotcha?
is gotcha?
No.
Gotcha. Who says that, bro? I got you.
You gotta go back to what it was.
Knockout.
You're out.
You shoot in front of me, I'm knocking you out.
Bye bye.
No.
So explain to us what capture the flag is.
So capture the flag is, I don't even know how many people you have on your team. I guess it's as long as it's even, but you split a big area. So take this table, for example, in half. So you put cones right in the middle, right? And you have a cone at the end of this one that this team over here is trying to get to with the flag in it. And then you have, and the same thing on this side. So around that cone and the flag is a big circle. It's a safe zone. So people on this team is trying to get to this flag and bring it back to their side. That's how you win.
Yeah.
Without getting touched.
Yeah, without getting touched. If you get touched, you're out. And the only way to get from being out is the person on your team has to, they have to bring that flag back over here?
I think so. I think you got to get the flag over.
Yeah, you got to get the flag back over. Then you get one person back out on your team, and then you do the next round. So that really tested your agility skills and how fast can you run? Can you outrun somebody? Can you juke them? Because sometimes it'd be 15, 20 people out there on either side. But that is the game that we master. So we're playing out on the field. You're not playing on grass. At least not in Cali. We were not playing in grass. We were playing on a blacktop cement. So, and my mom used to get so mad at us because we would have our shoes would have these holes in it, and they would be brand new shoes that we have to wear for the rest of the year.
And they don't.
They got a hole in it. So She was like, y'all cannot do that. Y'all got to do something else. But we loved it. We loved it. And our clothes would be black because you're diving. You're diving on the ground trying to get back to the safe zone. You do not want to get tagged.
On a black top.
On a black top.
No joke. Don't let it be hot outside because you're going to feel the heat.
It's coming through your shoes.
Feel the heat.
It's coming through your shoes. But yeah, we need to get back to that.
Man.
We need to get back to that because you learn so much. And now that I'm thinking about and talking about it, like all that encompasses into
think
basketball and other sports.
Think about how it developed different parts of your athleticism, your physicality, man. Just doing different stuff like that. So we're going to get into that. That's something for another episode for sure, man. For sure. But so then you're in high school now, okay? Talk to us about when you step into high school, okay? Because all that y'all did in the neighborhood, how that translate into high school ball?
How that translated is, so like I said, I wanted to get on the adult court where the men play, and the first time I tried, it didn't go well.
You got smiggity smacked?
Yeah, like I mean, everything I threw up there got beat out of bounds. Like, they were not taking it easy on me.
Good.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah,
I appreciate that because that made me better. Okay, I gotta try something else. And so I always played up. Always played against older people. I never played with anybody my age.
Same.
And I think that we need to get back to that because people just play with each other.
Play with their buddies. Play with their friends.
No, go out and challenge yourself.
No real competition.
There's no competition. Go out and challenge yourself. Play against these men who are not going to take it easy on you because then that helps you on later on. And so because so it didn't take me long. It took me just a few months. And that was just watching, seeing what other people are doing and take their moves. And that's what I was really good at.
Yeah.
And I'm into y'all now. I do that to both of y'all to this day. I do your move against you, and I do your move against you.
What move you stole from me? You ain't stealing none from me.
It's that when you drive, you give me a good shoulder.
But get mad at my shoulder, but we ain't gonna take it though. It's all right. It's all right. We're not gonna take it.
Your shoulder, that's a charge, bro.
That's a charge.
That's a charge. Yeah.
Hey,
and any
Bron
league,
do it.
even
Harden do it. Mike Neal do it.
No, they do it more subtly. You don't, man. You give us that shoulder.
He knocked the wind out you.
Yeah.
Get your weight up.
No babies on board. Straight up, man.
I was able to adapt, and that's where I'll get to in this whole story is just that, looking at things. I studied the game. I was obsessed with it. I loved your opponent. So I knew every single thing about everybody. And even to this day, not as much as anymore because the focus is different, but I knew where everybody went to college, what their stats were, what the names. We were sitting here talking about people from earlier that is like, and my family and people I was with, they're like, how do you know all that stuff? It's just because I love it.
Right.
I was the opposite. Like, I didn't know nobody who I played against. Even like when I was playing in high school, like I didn't know nothing about the opponents. I waited for the coach to give us a scouting report, and I went off that. And I felt like for me, for you, it gave you an upper hand. I felt like for me, it gave me the upper hand because I never went out and was like, oh, this dude's averaging 30. I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's both sides to it. It's either you're going to know what he likes to do and you're going to try to jump on it, or you don't know nothing about him. So in your mind, you're on a level playing field. And that's how I played. And so that's how I was able to get busy on cats. So I like to hear that perspective. Yeah. Because you was the opposite of how I did it. So
I feel like even if so, the kind of like temperament we had, we wouldn't have backed down from that kind of stuff.
Nah, we wouldn't.
If you knew, like,
we wouldn't.
I wanted to know if it was a dog because I knew I was a dog.
I ain't want to know.
I knew he was a dog. I knew how.
This is when I knew somebody I was playing was a dog. When everything I did against somebody else didn't matter, but when I did it to this dude, everybody oohing and ahhing. I'm like, oh, this dude might be somebody. It turned me up. You know what I'm saying? So, but go ahead, man.
So just even off of that, like that's what it was. So I was maybe about 10, I think, at the parks playing on the big dude courts, giving people the business.
At 10?
At 10.
Oh, that's
I'm hitting them with like the Allen Iverson cross.
That's back in them days.
And like people and these grown men are like, okay, he's dope.
Yeah.
He's dope. And so then I went from being like trying to force myself on the court to when I get there as a young kid, not even they're like, I want him on my team.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's right.
That's
like, they're picking me up over my brother.
Oh.
Like, that's what I made
Sound
it.
like
He's not protecting you no more. He's not protecting you no more.
No, so then, so getting to high school, it was just kind of like, you know what? I was fortunate and had my uncle being the head coach at Cal State Northridge for 17 years, getting to grow up around them too, being a ball boy. Just listening to all the things that was important at that stage, because that was the dream.
You cheating. You cheated for real.
That's a spot right there.
I mean,
he cheated for real because he got to be around it at a high level.
High level. I mean, and I saw some great players come through there. Ian Boylan and Marcus Carr. They were just workers, and so I got to see, and I'm glad that my uncle did that. And let us be a part of that and come to practice, and watch that, because then I kind of had an idea of what it's going to take, and that wasn't always the case, just because of you know how it was for all of us. You know, we didn't have that kind of guidance. We didn't have that information available to us in the beginning. So you just kind of have to learn as you go. Yeah. So my uncle, he's a big time defense person, and so that's where I developed my passion and love for defense, because he told me early on that if you want to make a college roster, and I tell kids this today when I talk to them, that if you want to make a college team and you want to play, you have to play defense.
You have to play
defense. If you can be the best offensive player in the world, but if you can't play the defense, you are not going to play.
Well, I don't know about that, but at that time, I'm with you.
Obviously, we
play something. If you're the best in the world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's 100.
I know some cats
right. It's 100 other people that play offense.
Yeah, they all they want to do is play offense. I mean, they're a liability on defense. So
separate yourself with the defense.
Yeah, and so that's when I learned. Okay, I got to take this serious, and but you have to have an attitude about it.
Yes, you do.
And so. Getting to see that, and I did some workouts with them and I was in middle school when I was a ball boy for Cal State Northridge, and
he got you young, man.
Yeah, he did. And going through his workouts, I was dead tired. Yeah, I was like, a semi truck just hit me. Like that was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. And I only did it twice because I was like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm not ready for that. But when I got to high school, well, all of that stuff that I've gone through growing up and having to really work and be good enough to get on the court and play.
All that played a factor.
All that played a factor. And it's all the days you spent at the park. All the days you spent, working on your craft. When even though it was an empty gym or empty park, because literally we'd be there summertime, especially we'd be there all day. I personally
felt like I got better by myself at a young age.
I agree.
You had to work harder to go get your rebound and go what you doing to move. You shoot that far jumper, you got to run. You got to go by yourself.
Yeah, you're getting all that.
You're not lax.
All that conditioning
if you're really working by yourself. So
yeah,
I understand.
Listen, I mean, sometimes it'd be beer bottles all over the court. You know what I'm saying? You get there, you think you're about to go work on your game. It's beer bottles, all over the court. So sometimes I'd have to go up there with a broom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I could get that beer bottle, you know what I'm saying, them green bottles at the time. At the time, I didn't know what them green bottles were because it wasn't, you know what I'm saying. Now I'm 30, you know what I'm saying? But, so for sure, man.
So, going into my freshman year, I was so naive actually because I was thinking, man, I've always played up. And I'm playing against dudes my age. I'm gonna
play varsity.
I'm gonna play varsity, and I did.
As a freshman,
and I even started. But me and my cousin Chris Braswell, we both went in together. Going into that summer, going to our freshman year in high school, we were like, we're gonna average 40. All you gotta do,
or together.
Together. Okay. No, each.
Oh, y'all
all you gotta do.
Your team was having 200 points.
Yeah. So now we're being naive, right? So I'm like, we both always played up. We're both pretty good.
So no AAU ball, no nothing up to this point. No AAU ball or nothing.
A little bit. Well, no, because it's all started in high school.
Okay.
So we get.
I'm just trying to figure out where this 40 piece came. Like, for you to think you're going to come in averaging 40, that means he was giving dudes 40 in the summer leagues.
All you got to do is score 10 points a quarter. That's 5 layups.
Makes sense.
That's
that
5 layups.
Sense, though.
Like,
When
you tell me I can't get 5 layups?
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I used to
mean?
tell myself that too. Yes, average it out by quarter.
Yeah, all I gotta do is get you 5 buckets a quarter.
10 though. I told myself
that's 3
6.
fat.
6 a quarter. That's 24. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
So, anyways,
so I'm like, okay, we can get 40. But I think if we would have played freshman ball or JV ball, we could have got 40, but we immediately started playing varsity because of like I said, all the hooping and stuff. And we were already so much more advanced as incoming freshmen that they had to do that. And so I figured out in the summer league games that you are not gonna get five layups a quarter. Like, okay, these dudes, they probably played up too.
Just maybe.
They might have had the same assumptions we had.
So I went in narrow-minded, like these they can't hold me. So, but then that's when I had to learn from that moment on. I have to respect my opponent, because of that going into my freshman year, I did not, because I didn't think y'all put in the same kind of work, put in the same hours, played, accepted those challenges that I did, but that is not the case.
Right.
And so from that moment on, I never disrespected my opponent.
Copy.
And so I was fortunate and blessed enough to make, like I said, make varsity as a freshman, and got a ton of playing time. Started games. But what I did take with me that first year, because my coach was pretty intense, and he's a D1 level coach, and he's doing that now. I think he's at Utah State right now, coaching the girls there. But having him as that was great, because I think it is so important as a freshman in high school basketball. You have to have that coach that is really serious about it. And that puts in just the same amount of work as you do when basketball and coaching, and building that foundation, because that's important.
Right.
And so I will never forget the time my freshman year, he was on my head, just because I wasn't playing that well, and I wasn't playing. This is, you're gonna laugh at this, I just wasn't playing aggressive as I should.
Right.
And so he pulled me out. He got this close to me. This close to my face.
Should have got closer.
Like his nose was touching my nose.
Yeah.
And that whites on his eyes were red.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see anything else around just his pupils in his eyes. Dang. And he was like, "You are one of the best players out here. I got you. I brought you here for a reason. And I put you on this team for a reason. And you need to go out there and be aggressive and put the ball in the basket and lock up on D. And if you can't do that, then I'm sending you down to JV." And from that moment on, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be aggressive as hell. I'm gonna have an attitude, not with any of my teammates, not with the coach.
Just a chip
on my shoulder. That, like, if I want to get to the bucket, I'm gonna get to the bucket. If I want to steal the ball from you and beat the heck out of your shot, that's what I'm gonna do.
You still do that pretty well.
And that's what I do.
Well, I remember that one time, boy, you went and grabbed somebody's dunk. You ain't block it. You went and grabbed somebody's dunk out their hand. This is what, about 2 years ago, we was in a tournament, man. And you went and grabbed somebody's dunk out the air and, like, grabbed it. Like grabbed it and landed with the ball, bro. And it was just like, I can't even, like, explain it. I can't even do it justice. So that's what's up, man. Now, I didn't play football, right? But y'all two cats play football, and at some point in high school, you started playing football.
Yes.
Right? So talk to us about that. I'll sit in my corner while y'all talk about football.
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing that because football for me came on so late. When I first got to high school, I'll start there. The moment I stepped on campus, the football coaches, like, you need to come out and play football. And now at that time, I had never put on pads. Only time I played football, it was street football.
Smear the queer?
we had sideline pop.
Sideline pop.
And what that was
I don't know what none of this is.
I mean, it's really just like, it's kind of like 21 in the sense that the one person throws the ball in the air, you got a whole group of people.
Whoever catches it up, you get them.
Yeah, you just everybody.
What?
You're trying to score from end to end. Like if you that cold, you're gonna go end to end through everybody. If you that cold,
everybody. But in these dudes, they're trying to take you out.
Oh my goodness!
And so we were playing this in the street, sometimes in the front yard when it was just my brothers. And I got scars on my body because they literally were tacking me into the bushes, and I was like in the bush, like.
So y'all played on the concrete.
We played on the concrete.
If you got to the sideline, you get popped.
You got. We
call it smear the queer because it'd be like a big grass field, so you getting popped no matter where you at. As soon as you get popped, you got to throw the ball in the air.
Yeah.
Next person you get hit. It's game. Everybody. So it's like 21. Everybody for themselves.
I am not playing this 21.
It was fun.
I do not want to partake.
It's fun. It's fun. So that was the only real.
I was two-hand touching.
I think you would have been a dog on the field.
I probably would have, but
I think
it was soccer. I'm Haitian, so we continue the story.
So I didn't play my freshman year. My sophomore year, situations changed. I wasn't with my uncle anymore, living at his house. I was back at home, and my coach, or not my coach, it was actually my basketball teammate. He was a football player. That was his main sport. He was a big linebacker. Josh Ziegler is his name, and that dude was one of the biggest dudes that I seen in high school.
Yeah, just physically.
Yeah, physically. He was. I mean, like when you go to the football games, like that dude was out there,
stood out.
Yeah, and so he was the one that's like, you need to come out and play basketball too, football.
Yeah,
and so that whole summer he was trying to get me to come out and play. I was like, no, my mom don't want me to play, and it got to the point where she told me that if I did play football, if I decided to play football, she was gonna disown me.
So what made you actually just be like, forget it, I'm about to go play?
Braden, I'm disowning you. Don't play football in the future.
No, but you can't do that because
you learn from that game too.
They compensate each other.
Yes,
they compensate each other. I didn't understand it at the time. They were trying to tell me, the coaches are trying to tell us this, but I didn't see it like that. But it does
compensate each other. How?
But the strength that you get.
Footwork.
The footwork.
Physicality.
Yes, physicality, everything, and even volleyball too. I played volleyball.
That's why you're so bouncy.
Yeah, but I was bouncy way before that.
Oh, you was probably born bouncy.
He got that deceiving bounce too.
So I was dunking in the 6th grade. Like,
wow!
Like it was easy,
bro.
It was easy.
He cheating.
It was easy, but so I decided. After a month or so, 6 weeks or so, asking me to play, I was like, fine, I'll do it.
Did mom ever disown you?
Yes.
Oh, keep going.
Yes.
I'll get to that. Okay.
Yes. So I told them, the coaches. That's real.
Why was mom so passionate about you not playing?
Did your dad play football? It's got to be something underlying.
Did you ever ask?
I tried, but my mom, and y'all know how it is, but my mom was like, when she says something, you don't question.
Don't question me, boy.
Yeah, you don't question it. And so when I did ask her, like, why do you not like it so much? And she just didn't like the
she went Bobby Boucher mama on you. Football is the devil.
My mama said.
Pretty much. She was like, it was more of a safety thing.
Okay.
And she knew that my calling was basketball.
Okay.
And so I'm getting my mind off of basketball and trying to do too much. And so I told the coaches, they knew, they were well aware that if I do it, my mom was gonna disown me. And so when they said, we'll take care of you, I was like, okay, well that kind of changes things. And since middle school, I kind of been in different places. I wasn't really at home.
Okay.
So that's another unique thing that we may have to get to on another episode.
Talk about it. Why you have to be?
That
catch me up.
Well, let me do football first.
All right.
So when I said, okay, I'm gonna play football, my mom was like, pack your shit. Pack your stuff. My bad.
Yes, sir. You didn't hear that.
She's like, I'm not kidding. It's like, okay. Wow. So Josh, my basketball teammate, he had to pick me up from my house. My mom was not taking me to practice. She was not buying me anything for football because I had nothing, no cleats, nothing. And so all the coaches and the players had to do everything for me and this is a brand new thing. I don't know anything. I don't know how to put on a helmet. I don't know how to put on the pads. I don't know how to do anything.
I wore pads once. All said and done, though, you look nice on that field, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it was all said and
done.
Swag
mattered on the field.
I should have been doing this a whole lot earlier. So I decided to play, and it was slow. I wasn't any good in the beginning, just trying to figure out, my vision is
cut off.
All these bars everywhere, and the pads are heavy, and it's hot, and it's making all this noise.
Especially when you get hit, it sound worse.
Like the whole thing goes. And so that whole sophomore year, I was athletic enough to make varsity. And so I made varsity, but I didn't play. I was just on the team, and I probably at that, you know how it is, like it's a stature thing. You want to make varsity, you don't want to make JV.
And then when you make the team and you're not playing, now you're like, what?
Then I'm like,
I want to play.
I want to get out there and play. So I would go down to JV, but they didn't move me down to JV, and they were like, it's always been like that for my life, where I just get thrown in the deep end. That's actually how I learned how to swim.
Me too.
My brother, the OG, the one who donates to charities now.
Yeah, the Samaritan.
Yeah, he's a good Samaritan. I still don't like the water. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
People are like, you know how to swim? I'm like, no, I know how to survive.
Yeah. I'm a survivor.
It's a difference. And so just, summertime we were at the pool, and I'm like just hanging around in the shallow end. And he tells me, come here, and I get out of the pool, and I'm like, huh? And he grabs me. He's like, you're going to learn how to swim today. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I'm freaking out now.
Yeah.
And he just throws me in the deep end. Get back to shallow end. So I'm doggy paddling the whole way. And I'm trying to get to the side, and I'm like going down and trying to come back, going down. And I made it all the way back to shallow end, and that's how I learned how to swim.
Bro, so for me, my older brother, he's 6 years older than me. So all his friends, everybody's way older than me. I'm the young boy, right? So they always trying to teach me how to swim. My brother's like, nah, leave him alone. He ain't ready. So finally, man, it had to be like 4 of them. Finally, 4 of them hold my brother back. My brother, big dude. They hold him back. And one dude was like, he gonna learn how to swim today. Threw me in the pool. They holding my brother back. This like a scary movie, dog. Yeah. They hold him back. They throw me in, and I'm doggy paddling. I probably drank all the pissy water. Listen, all the chlorine.
Burping while you're trying to swim.
That's the worst.
I was probably drunk off that mess, bro. And finally, I got over it. It took one time the doggy paddle, and I was swimming from that day on.
Yeah.
So that's how I learned. But my brother didn't throw me in. But so
I was Michael Phelps from the gate. So.
This dude, his mom probably birthed him in water. This dude was born in the tub.
I came out like a fish. I ain't gonna lie. I was just swimming food.
Yeah.
I think that's how I got so dark. You think I could suntan too?
No, so I just taught myself how to swim in water. I still don't know how to float. I sink, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's just because of the muscle mass.
Right.
I try to tell my wife this. I'm like, I cannot float. And I tell everybody that, and they're like, yes, you can. You can do it. This is how you do it. I'm like, I don't do it. So I literally
look within yourself.
Keep your chin up and keep your hips
in that water stiff trying to
Bro,
float.
I do. I get in there and I just go straight down like this. I go all the way down the ground. And finally, it was. I think it was just this last summer. Finally, somebody brought to our knowledge that it is a real thing that some people just cannot float because of the muscle mass. You're just too heavy.
Nobody can't tell, but this dude actually pretty big. So I want to know if that happened in football or in basketball. So you got to get us to that football.
All right, it happened in football.
I'm not gonna lie,
It happened in football. I was skinny. I was all skin and bones.
While you was just a basketball player.
I was just a basketball player. And so back to football. That
was one compensation right there.
Yeah. And that another thing. I mean, it's a different kind of strength that you get. So I played on special teams my sophomore year, and then that summer is when I took it seriously. And I was like, okay, because now at this time I was living with my receivers coach, my wide receivers coach.
Because your mom disowned you.
Because my mom disowned me. She's not gonna have me.
We still love you, Mom.
Oh yeah, absolutely, love you to death. She's tatted on my body, and so he was great. He's my goddad to this day. His family, they welcome me in with open arms. Still love me to this day. That is my dad. Call him my dad. Because of the relationship that he had and the way that he did take care of me. So he was the receivers coach. He saw the potential, and he's like, we're just going to get out here and just throw the ball around. And so we did. I figured it out pretty quickly that it's just like getting a rebound. You just run as fast as you can, jump as high as you can, and snatch the ball.
Nobody snatching it from you.
No, it's not a 50-50 ball. It's a 100-0 ball.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah. It's not. And
I'm coming out on top.
And so that summer we did.
Football sound appealing right now, bro.
What you don't get is it's really past all that physicality and like dangerous parts, bro. It's a fun game, bro.
It is
like
a fun game.
Because it's all on you once you get that ball. So all eyes is on you.
Yeah, you don't get caught.
Yeah,
and then it becomes capture the flag.
Yes,
and you just gotta get in the end zone to get to the safe zone.
Once you get that ball, it's like basketball. When you're on the court, all eyes on you. What you gonna do with the ball? So it feels good. It's a different feeling too.
It is, and I got that in
so y'all throw the old pigskin around, and then
we did, happens? And then started the 7-on-7 passing league, and that was where it clicked. And I caught everything that was thrown my way because then the helmet was off. So now after a season of getting used to it,
we did it with helmets on.
Yeah, we didn't have any helmets on, and it was just I'm gonna get open because then it comes back to sideline pop and then the street football that I can get open. All I gotta do is you want me to do a post? Okay, I just gotta do that. Okay. That's easy. I can run the lines on the paper, and I'm gonna outrun this person. And so the quarterback, he just started throwing me the ball, and I caught everything, like passes I shouldn't have caught, one-handed, and it's a reaction thing, and I got big hands, and I'm fortunate for that.
I tell E all the time because he really can't catch like. You throw him lead passes, he'll fumble them things.
In football, not in basketball.
In basketball, too.
Right. I can't catch nothing but a basketball. I can't even catch colds, but I'll catch a basketball. Talk to me, Jay. Talk to me. He's trying to disrespect me right now. Take the shine off you.
So that was when I realized, okay, I could do this. I was making it a lot bigger of a deal than what it actually was. And that year comes and I have a killer year. Now I'm top 150 in the state.
Your junior year?
My junior year. 1 year.
Top 150?
Top 150. Top 150 in the state as a receiver in California.
In California. Big state.
Big state. Tons of great athletes out there, high school players. But somehow this dude who had never played this game before is top 150. So the funny thing about this, and with basketball too, is so my mom disowned me, right? So my junior year, I'm making noise. I'm in the paper. I don't pay attention to it. For football. I'm peeking. Then I don't know how I got to her. I think it was one of my brothers. Like, all right, so now I'm about to say something that nobody knows, because this is. I hope my family watches this
exclusive.
At some point. This is an exclusive. So
uncut.
This is between us and the viewers and the listeners. So my family. Nobody calls me Jay or Javon.
Right.
My name is Ralph.
Ralph breaks the internet.
Nickname.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Everybody always wants to know what's my nickname. What my family calls me is Ralph.
Wreck-It. Just call you Wreck-It from now on.
You're Ralph now.
And the ones that are really close to me, that like if I'm anywhere and I hear somebody call me Ralph, I know that's somebody I grew up with. Okay, that person knows me from when I was a youngin'. So my brother, I think, told my mom, like, hey, Ralph is making some noise out on the football field. You might want to go see him.
First of all, where does R come from J? Like, finish the story, because I'm trying to see.
anyway, so they told her that, you know, I'm actually doing well, and so she came out. She wanted to come out, and that was my big moment. Yeah, that was I've been waiting for this showdout that day.
You did not ball on them.
I think I had 4 touchdowns.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, it was that was everything that I wanted.
Did y'all smack them?
We did, and it was our rivals too. It was LAB. They're called Heritage Hall now, but LA Baptist.
Heritage.
Yeah, and they were our big rivals. Like, I mean, so here we are, 2 Christian schools. We hate each other. I mean, like,
thou shalt not hate.
Thou shalt not hate. Only when you get in the gridiron. So I didn't have any family at the games, really ever, up until high school. And
when you became 150.
When I became
Mr. Top 150.
yeah. And then it was like a party. But we knew my brothers knew from an early age for me that I was going to be the ticket for all of us out of the valley. And just because I had the most promise. And so I was put in good situations. My brother kept me out of trouble because I tried to get in trouble. I tried.
It happens.
It does. I mean, when you're around it, I mean, that's just what it is. And so, like I said, he was the OG. So they looked up to us. We were my brothers and I, like, we ran the block. And so with that comes responsibility. Like, you got to keep. It's all about power and respect. And so that's how it was growing up, and you did not disrespect my older brother. And like we didn't, I didn't either. And so when it did happen, you know, I got to see the consequences of that. And so they were smoking and drinking, fighting, gangbanging, all that. I was all around that stuff all the time. So I was in a situation to where if I was going to be good at this basketball stuff, and
you're swinging donuts outside.
Now I need to, you know, get in a better situation. So my brothers knew, my oldest brother, since he put the basketball in hand and was going to the park and stuff, he's like, okay, this dude could play. So I tried to smoke weed. I did it for a little bit, but for me, it hit me really hard to where I would smoke, I would go and play, and I couldn't breathe. I was like, I'm out of shape, like, already. Like, I can't do that.
It take me opposite.
Yeah, it take me a couple weeks to
play, then go smoke.
And I could not do it. And I just felt like every time I smoked, it set me back in basketball.
Yeah. Sit down there.
So I was like, okay, man, I can't do that. I was drinking as in middle school.
Dang, you started early, G.
And I mean, we just got exposed to a lot because it was just us. We got to do whatever we wanted to do.
That's true.
And we just had to police ourselves. And so, but my brother and they're responsible for, and I don't know if I told them this, but and I will, especially with the whole COVID situation, make sure I tell people I appreciate them because you never know when things are going to end. But they're responsible for a lot of what's going on in my life now because they didn't let me get in trouble back then. I was trying to because I didn't know. I just felt like I had to be perfect all the time. And so I would have my moments when I'd act out. You know, and being around what I was around, being in the valley, want to be respected, wanting to be powerful, and watching my brother do this and people look up to him. I'm like, man, like that, like I want to do that. I want to be that. And so I would get into fights, just dumb fights. And I never lost. I never lost a fight. And it's because we just
that was deep brothers all the time, probably.
Yeah, I mean it was, and nobody wanted to fight us because everybody was scared of us, and understandably so, and they should have been because we were crazy. Yeah, we could flip a switch and they would just be nuts. Like I'm sure it is for where you were, and definitely where you were.
No comment.
Stockton up there, like it was nuts. But
Sacktown.
No comment.
Not dirty Stockton. So junior year, you hit top 150 in football.
Hit top 150 in football.
How did you? So like, I know you're still hooping at this time, and like I know you said hooping is still your first love. So like I know when that basketball feeling started coming around, how was your mind about picking and choosing? Because I mean, we know that you still have to pick.
You
and choose.
ended up playing college basketball.
We know that. We know that for a fact.
So
but at that time,
I want to know
what was going on, because like I know the feeling. I was going through the same thing. How was you deciphering what you were choosing? Because you had to get ready. It's junior year.
It was tough. I will be honest with you. It was tough because for like at my junior year, at the end of my junior year, I had a shoebox. I had 2 shoeboxes full.
That's the favorite thing
of letters
the best thing.
From football.
And I've been playing football for 1 year.
Seeing way more results than hoop at the time.
More results than hooping. I think I only had 5 or 6 letters for hoop at that time.
It's discouraging every time.
And so it was very discouraging. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, okay, I've been playing basketball what I think is my entire life.
Right.
Played football for 1 year, and I got more than I can handle in letters and handwritten notes from coaches.
For real.
And
that's when it was genuine, when they hand wrote it.
Yeah, that's okay. This wasn't a scout. This wasn't an assistant. The actual coach.
Copy and paste.
Yes. They were coming after me hard. They were coming to visit.
Putting a 60 words per minute. They were handwriting.
Handwriting, hand signed it. Like, we want you. And I'm like, how? Like, I just started playing this game.
What's some of the colleges offering you for football?
Every Pac-12 school at the time was Pac-10. So UCLA, USC, Washington, Oregon State, Arizona. It was SMU, a lot of East Coast schools. Like every school you can do that, and that was especially being a California kid. I mean, in Southern California, SC was the place to go. They had Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart, all those dudes. They were dope. And so when I got the letter from Coach Carroll, I was like, oh, okay, this could
be
serious.
real.
Yeah, so y'all ever seen The Blind Side?
Yeah,
of course.
My situation was similar to that because my goddad, so my receivers coach, and his wife, so my godmom, they're both SC alums.
Oh.
And so they're supporters, and so when that came in the mail, my goddad was like,
you gotta go,
bro. What basketball? What? No more. We're gonna play football. And I was like, I didn't know. I was so new to the whole thing. Everything was still new. Everything I was going through was so new.
But it was coming in quick.
It was coming in fast. It was coming in really fast. And then the whole thing was, what are you gonna play? Basketball, football? Which one you gonna?
That's what it was.
Which one are you gonna do? Like, I don't know. So I got invited to the camp for SC, and nobody knew who I was. None of the other players there. A couple of the coaches knew me, just because of the film they saw and the letters I was getting from them. So they recognized my name when I got to the camp, and they give you the shirt when you put your name on it. And I'm standing in line to do the vertical jump, and they're like, Javon's got a nice ring to it. That can be a household name. You come to SC, you have a lot of people in here saying your name. So I'm like, okay, like absolutely.
Keep
and so there's 10 people go, and you don't really hear anything, and then so I get up to do the vert, and I jump 37.5. People are like, oh, okay, wait a minute. So then the coaches came over again, and they were like, I really think your name could be a household name. It's like, jump again. It's like, okay, get it, 38. Okay, they write that down on a thing, because when you first get there, before you get on the field, you got to do all the tests and stuff, right? So I get the 38 vertical, and the next thing is the 40, and I've never done. We didn't do this in practice.
This all new.
It's all new. I didn't know what my vert was, but I knew I could out jump anybody.
Right.
And I knew I was fast. Didn't know how fast, but I knew I could outrun anybody.
Right.
And we call it the breakaway speed, the getaway speed from the cops chasing you. You got to get out. So I get on the track. I run my 40, 4.5. Easy. First try, 4.5. And there's pictures of this on the website. I wish I would have saved it. I didn't do it because I tell the story. My wife is like, yeah, okay.
But people don't
Pete Carroll. So then everybody go, oh, okay. He jumps 38 inches on a vertical. He just ran a 4.5 40. I had on some they weren't special shoes. They just weren't tennis shoes. They were like track shoes.
Yeah.
I changed into them. And so Pete Carroll comes over and he's like, come here, young man. And he's got his arm around me. Cameras are on me like this. We hear all the clicking. And he's like, I want you to run it again. And he's like, are those, what kind of shoes you got on there? And I'm like, they're just, I took them off, showed him the bottom. There wasn't anything special about them. He's like, you're impressing me right now. You're putting up some good numbers. And so I said, just run the 40 again for me. And I ran it again, 4.5, same time. He's like, okay. Now let me tell you who was in this camp with me. I was in the camp, and there my roommates was Matt Barkley, Robert Woods.
I don't know any of these names.
And Matt Barkley was.
Just keep going. I won't know. I won't.
Okay. Like they're legends. Yeah. They're legends nowadays. So
I won't know.
We came in. We would have gone in together. So it was Matt Barkley and Robert Woods. He was a top receiver. Mm-hmm. And
long too.
Yeah, and so that, and then I did that. He was like, this kid, the numbers look good. And so then we get out to the other field, and we start catching passes. And I run a route, and they're like, okay, that was clean. And from there, it was the best experience, but so much happened at the same time that I was like, this is nuts. So while I was there, they gave us the tour. At a select few, I was with Bud Barkley and Woods and everybody. And we went into the weight room, and we turned the corner, and Ray Maulaga, who's middle linebacker at the time, Taylor May, Brian Cushing, these are all guys on defense.
Cushing.
I thought Josh Ziegler in high school was the biggest dude I've seen. These dudes were massive. And their shirts were cut off right underneath their chest, so their abs were just showing. Mm-hmm. Each one of their abs was the size of my head. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
college
different.
Regiment.
Yeah. And so I looked on the wall. Ray's Maulaga's name up there for the most squat. I think he squatted something like 600-700 pounds. Taylor May's benching 300, 400 something pounds. Like, these dudes are right here, and they're on offense, so I'm there to be receiver. And so I asked the coaches, like, so I'm 6'2" at the time, and they're like, what position do you want to put me at? Slot. Put me at slot. I'm like, now I know from my high school days, the slot, you get to go across the middle. You want to be on the outside because you just run deep routes.
Right.
So I thought to myself, I'm going to be in the slot here. Going across the middle, I'm going to be getting hit by these dudes.
Yeah.
And so I thought at that time, what crossed my head was,
these are NFL bodies.
Yes.
These
I'm
not
like,
college bodies anymore.
I started thinking, immediately I said, my knees, I got to protect my knees for basketball. Like, I don't know if I could do that. And so the whole camp went through. It was a good camp. I really wanted to go to SC after that. I really wanted to commit to SC.
Did you win any all camps or anything? All camp receiver or anything like that?
No, the one I didn't, and I should have at the Fresno State one.
Oh,
that one hurts me right here still to this day. Because
so you was there with Josh Hart.
Was he at Fresno State?
Yeah, he ended up going there with Carr. He's one of my boys from SAC.
Okay. Carr was up. Yeah.
Receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a dude named, I will never forget his name. Cougar Williams was his name. He was the other receiver. It was me and him. And the only reason why I did not get the top camp or the top receiver for the camp was because I cramped on the last drill. So I couldn't run. And this has been all
still
day.
Be cramping.
I'm a professional cramper.
LeBron James.
You gotta carry me off,
bro.
Let me get my legs together,
and then come back and play.
Yeah, I'll come back
like Paul Pierce.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that was on my junior year, so a lot happened, and I had to. So I was thinking like, okay, man, this is great, and I'm getting having all these conversations. It's crazy good. I wanted to commit to SC. But I just couldn't. I was struggling with, do I play football for my college career when I've only been doing this for 1 year? At that time it would be 2 years. When you got guys like Ray and Taylor who've been doing this thing their whole life. So as much as basketball is important and how I started for me, that's how it is for them in football. So I didn't think that was fair. I thought that
life ain't fair.
No, it's not, man. And it could have, I think, I think I would have had. I won't change what happened, for anything, because I'm here, family, great girls, got a great wife, house, and all that kind of stuff. But I think if I would have chose football,
good job.
I honestly think I look at the guys now. I look at OU, like I can play that can be me.
Say it every day.
And I'm like, man. And when I'm sitting with my wife and when I'm sitting with my goddad, we watch this games on Sunday. I'm like, he hits me every time. That needs to be you. That could have been you. And he's right. I think I didn't have.
Just thinking longevity, thinking protection.
Yeah. So then you passed up USC.
Passed up USC,
Fresno,
UCLA,
to
all
play
the schools
college
that
basketball.
That where nobody really knew me still. They didn't, and it wasn't. I did not have a shoebox full of letters like I did for football.
So what'd you end up signing to?
So I didn't even sign to anybody because when that time came, there wasn't an offer. So we had.
And you didn't take basketball or football.
Still didn't take football because and they were asking me to choose. Everybody kept asking me to choose. The people at the high school, the AD, choose. You have to choose one. Yeah. I'm like, why do I have to choose one?
Yeah, that's
so you have to make a commitment to one. I hated that. And when I went back to, and there was always, I don't know if this happened for you. But for me, there was always 1 week out of the football year where I could not put on pads. I could not put a helmet because my body hurt so bad. And I was like, man, I cannot play football right now.
Yeah.
So, and I was good enough in high school where they let me sit that week out and just play on Saturday. But like I couldn't put on pads, so I went to practice like this. And happened every year. And
so you was a dog is what you said.
And so I'm like, I won't be able to do that in college. And it's 10 times as hard.
You ain't never, so no thought ever came across your mind like, you know what, I'll go take this little football scholarship and then walk on a basketball team.
No.
That would have been my thought immediately. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not getting the letters I want from basketball. I think I'm that good, and I'm getting these big-time football schools who are also big-time basketball schools, UCLA.
And you got to understand, too, and like I know y'all I'm sure it was the same for y'all, but, too, that college, I didn't even think college was an option.
Facts.
I wasn't planning on going to college because nobody in my family has been to college.
But so that's why kind of like mind-boggling, like when you say that at the end of your senior year, you wasn't really getting no basketball ones, but that football one was there.
The football one was there.
Why wouldn't you take it?
Because I didn't love it. I didn't love it. I just liked it, and I was good.
That's all it takes.
But I should have. I wish. And my goddad to this day is still pissed at me for that. He's still pissed at me that I didn't choose football.
Yeah.
But
if it wasn't for my situation, I'm not gonna lie, I would have went and played football.
Yeah,
because that's what I'm thinking. It's like
I had everything. I mean,
I ain't gotta love it, but these basketball coaches are gonna see me.
Yeah, no, it was, man. It's if I could replay that moment now, knowing what I know now, I would take that scholarship for football, and then I can go walk on.
And your goddaddy is great. Your brothers were great, but this is where it matters. To have that father figure in your life, somebody
I needed somebody,
not father figure, that father in your life, doing all the legwork, talking to all the coaches, doing all the research beforehand, so that when it's time for you, you know what I'm saying, you just relying on their love and support for you, to guide you, that guidance.
I needed that, and all credit goes to my goddad.
Finish this thing off right, man. So you give up on football and you go where? We need to know. So the letters I was getting in high school, they were from the D3s in the area. So University of Redlands, they were the first ones to make contact with me, and they followed me my whole high school career for basketball. And then it was Colgate University out in New York. It was Louisiana Lafayette, Hawaii, University of Hawaii. They started coming in late, so I was able to take my trips. And I went to my first one was to Louisiana Lafayette. I never been to the Southeast before. The boot.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it was
steel toe. That's a Wayne line.
It was great to see that, but it came in late, so I was already ticked off because that summer, my senior year summer in basketball, so I made a decision I'm not gonna play football. Didn't have any offers really for basketball, so I needed to. And then the AAU for me through high school was just a bunch of politics stuff. I don't want to be a part of it because it just wasn't my style. And so I had a lot of catching up to do. I didn't see all this, but my football coach knew this. And I was so naive, and I just wanted to play basketball because I loved it so much that I was going to do whatever it took to get on the basketball at a university for basketball. And so we went to Louisiana Lafayette. They wanted to offer me. Went on there for my trip. I didn't like it. Now, I'm a California kid. It's 75 degrees all the time. They got the beach at my disposal. There's no such thing as humidity.
Ever in life. Ever.
And so when we get out there, we get off the plane. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And he's like,
you skipped out on Louisiana, end up living in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It was
the same thing.
And but the week before that, there was this like, it wasn't a travel thing. It was this big like mixture of it was just hooping in Hawthorne, and this big old hangar that had like 6 courts. It was a Nike thing, and I signed up for it. And so they just put a bunch of people with on the team, and you guys got to play. And where a bunch of coaches would come and watch you play if you don't have any offers.
Real shit.
And they had a big board there. What coaches were there. So I played in that. Did good the first day. The second day, I dunked on somebody. And then that got like the buzz going. And I knew I could play. I just was at a smaller school. And so when I did that, that brought coaches to the court I was playing on. And this just, it always happens like this for me. But, now I'm getting double teamed because I'm in my zone now. I'm playing. And I try to split a triple team and try to rise up and dunk on another person. Try to split 3 people to go and dunk on another person. And I could have had I not done this, but I stepped on a dude's foot, turned my ankle, and I went down. And that thing swelled up this big. And believe it or not, my ankle is still swollen and messed up from that one time because I was not allowed to let it heal. And
you kept playing, fighting through it. I kept playing
because I had to, I don't have an offer yet. I need to go and play. And so I was out the rest of that tournament. A couple coaches talked to me after from it. And that's how University of Pacific got involved. Mm-hmm. And SMU and some of those schools. And but I just got hurt. And so I had to go out I already had the flight and stuff booked for Louisiana Lafayette, and that trip, my ankle's still swollen, bro. And from when I twisted it, and I get out there, and the coach is like, I want you to go out and play. Go and play with the current team. And
he knew your ankle was jacked.
Yeah, he knew my ankle was messed up, and I told him, I even showed him, like, I have a big softball on my left ankle, and I can barely walk on it. And he's like, some of the coaches here just want to see what you can do.
Like, I spent this money. That's what that was. AKA, I spent this money on you to come out here.
So I was like, I don't have an ankle brace. So they gave me 2 ankle braces. I put them on. I couldn't run, but I'm out there trying to do it. And everybody, and that's when I learned too, that everybody at that level is 6'7" and above. And here I am at 6'2", 6'3".
Can't move.
Can't move.
You're not yourself.
I can't jump.
You're not yourself at all.
I know. I'm not myself. I don't feel comfortable. I'm caught off guard.
You're pressured.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, this is the moment that I wanted, but not like this. Not like this. Because that is the moment that I've dreamt for. Like, let me just play in front of somebody so that they can see what I can do. And I didn't do well. Got my shot thrown off they were beating my stuff out of bounds because I didn't have the lift.
Yeah, I don't even give that no value.
So after that, I was there for another day, and it was after that, it just kind of started going downhill. So that trip was like, yeah, I'm not coming here. Even though the rest of the trip was fine, just with the coaches and what I had just did, I knew, okay, this is just not going to work out.
Because it's going to give them some type of idea that's not even true about you.
Right. And I did her credit. They were great and were still, showing me made me feel comfortable, made me feel loved, and I was there and got announced at the softball game and all that kind of stuff. But it just was, it was not. I knew I didn't like Louisiana anyway, and being there, I just knew it wasn't going to be a good fit. So I had a teammate named Bok, high school teammate, he had all the press and he had all he had the name, and so he went to Cal Berkeley, but they were, before he committed there, they were coming to practices and they saw me play, and I was playing pretty well in practice and stuff, and so I knew he was going to go there, so I was trying to, I'm like, okay, we can make this a package deal with him, and so that was, at the same time that was happening, I was still going to take still trying to find out, where I want to go if that doesn't
visits
happen.
And everything.
So I went to University of Redlands, and they're a Division III school in Riverside, Riverside County. And so like I said, they had been sending me letters and stuff since my freshman year of high school. And when I got there for my visit, the head coach, I guess he's also the tennis coach too, and they're really good tennis school. I walk in the gym, me and my goddad and the coach I've been talking to, we go to meet him. He's walking in from the tennis courts, and the coach is like, "Oh, Coach so-and-so, I forget his name." He's like, "This is the recruit that I was telling you about. It's Jay Nettles from Village Christian." The dude walks up, "How you doing? Good. Bam, out the door. I was like, "Wait, you don't want to talk to me? Like, y'all been sending me letters for 4 years now," and that's the response I get from the head coach. So I was like, okay.
Hey, send me home, bro.
Yeah,
like,
so now
at this point, send me home. I don't even want to. Don't give me no basketball.
and we stayed there long enough and he told me the guys were gonna play pickup. So now because of the interaction with the coach, I'm like, okay, now my competitive juices, my blood is boiling.
Right, you want to kill.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's how we're gonna be. And I asked them at that time too. I said, "Who's y'all's rivals?" And they said, "Cal Lutheran. We can't stand those guys."
No.
And I looked at my coach. I was like, "We're going to Cal Lu." I was like, "If this don't work out, we're going to Cal Lu." And so, and then I played pickup with those dudes with that team, and was like, I was playing like my regular self. Like,
I was doing your thing.
Yeah, I can do this. This is what I'm used to. And so, ended up leaving and Bach ended up committing to Cal, and he went up there early, and I went up there with him, trying to make myself more known.
Trying to put on for sure.
Didn't go as a plan with them. It just wasn't what I thought. Trying to talk to the coaches, but they weren't
feeling you.
They weren't feeling it. So I knew early on, all right, this is not gonna work. So I was there for a hot minute. Went back down to back home and told my coach, it's like, all right, let's go look at Cal Lu. And went on my visit there, and at that point, it was so late. It was getting late for me to go somewhere that I was like, I don't care, because now I got the Redlands situation in my mind. And I'm like, I just want to go and get back at them. And so on the travel team I did play for, called BTI, ton of good players on that team that are in the league right now, or that used to be. Derek Williams was on the team. Wrestling Reeves Nelson was on the team. They had another guy on there. His name was I can't think of his name, but he played at Cal Lu. And he's the one that told me about it. Yeah, okay. He put me in contact with them. He was like, I'm there. I got along with him really well, because he too wasn't Did he
play your position?
He was a guard. Okay. He was a guard. He was a bigger guard than I was. He was like 6'5", and so, but he's like, you could play. You need to come here with me. So I said, all right, I'll go there. And I went there for the visit and to play pickup. And the fool, when I get there, this was a couple weeks later, he's transferring out of the school. So I got hot. Now I'm mad at him.
You bring me here, now you leaving.
I'm like, so things were kind of like working out. Okay,
somebody did that to me, bub.
and then I'm trying to go here, and you're transferring. Okay, what? And so at that time, it was just late. It was too late.
So you had to just stay.
So I had to just go there. And I said, it doesn't really matter because I'm getting an education.
Real quick, what you graduate with?
My GPA?
Nah.
My degree?
Your major, yeah.
My major was criminal justice. I got a criminal
Pretty
justice
ironic,
degree.
wouldn't you say?
Now, let me tell you why I did that.
Okay.
I chose criminal justice because it's somewhere along the way I was thinking, okay, I want to be a police officer. And why I want to be a police officer is to keep my brothers out of trouble. Because I know what happens at home. I know what we still deal with the racism and stuff, especially out where we were in the valley. Just being black, you walk in the stores, all the cameras look at you.
All of them.
And so
following you.
Mm-hmm. And I know it was just at that time I was thinking it's just a matter of time before my brothers get in trouble, and I still feel like that to this day, where it's just a matter of time before we have our run-in with the law, and one of us needs to be educated in this stuff,
right?
To protect him. So for me, my OG brother, who's always looked after me and put me under his wing,
you wanted to pay for.
I wanted to do that for him by going and get my degree in criminal justice, so that if I ever needed to take care of him in that facet, I could. True. And so that's why I got my degree in criminal justice. But played basketball at Cal 4 years. Started for a majority of that. I didn't start the first couple of games my freshman year, but then pretty quickly, I was like 3 or 4 games in, I started starting.
Yeah.
And when I realized too that it doesn't matter what division you play. You could Division I, Division II, NAIA, Division III. Only thing really that's different is the height, because like I said, D1 they're all 6'7" and above. D2 they're 6'5" and above, and at D3 and NAI level it's everything. You get a mixture of everything, but
because
I mean, and dudes are still the ultra competitive
dogs.
I mean,
it's
and
dogs
honestly,
at every level.
Yeah, at every level, and there's Division III players and some teams, I mean, that are just as good as D1 teams. And so
the situation was different.
But the situation is different. It's all politics. At least that's how I felt at the time. And so
that's how I feel right now.
I mean, and I've been removed from it. So and you're more involved in it with the high school stuff. That it's still the same, huh?
I mean, yeah.
And that's I hate that because
it's worse now.
And that's unfortunate.
Because AAU basketball is so big now, so if you're not social media, so if you don't have like a major backing, it doesn't matter how good you are.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter how good you are. So,
yeah. So I just learned and these are still good. I mean, some of the best athletes that I've ever seen and played with were on my college basketball team. And I mean, and to make things crazier is that these dudes are white.
Yeah,
these dudes are white.
It's hoopers everywhere,
bro.
That's why I love basketball. That's what I love about basketball, because color don't matter. No. It's not basketball. I'm sorry, sports.
Yeah,
color don't matter, bro. If you got it, you got it. You don't, you don't. Get your butt out the gym or off the field or whatever y'all do. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it was
What was that? Speak louder. Get closer to the microphone.
I had to hold my tongue.
But no, it was, it just opened my eyes up to a lot, and really made me. I did think about I should have chose football because I wouldn't be in this position.
But today, you got a beautiful wife, 2 beautiful daughters.
Yeah,
okay?
Met my wife at Cal, and the funny thing too is that
met your wife at Cal playing basketball, not football.
Nope, playing basketball.
Say though, if he took the other route, he wouldn't have the same thing.
All right, we ain't gonna talk about that. We gonna talk about.
And today. The funny thing about that though is that she almost went to SC too. That was the school she was gonna go to. She did, but she wasn't gonna play at SC. So it was either if she wanted, because she had the grades, so she would have gone to SC on the academic scholarship. but she was going to go to Cal to play basketball on that.
So she chose Cal for hoops.
She chose Cal, because she wanted to continue to play.
Look at y'all.
So I say if I would have gone to SC, I think she would have gone to SC just because I would have
worked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our paths were meant to cross, and they did on the first summer there at Cal, and I actually hated her. She knows the story.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand her the first year I met her because.
That's cool, man, because me and my wife, we played college basketball together. You know what I'm saying? And I went to one school, I left, and she went there, right? And then I met her that summer, or maybe that next year, I can't remember, just seeing her working out by herself. I'm like, yo, who is that? You know what I'm saying? And then eventually we meet. You know, at the time, I'm getting a little buzz. Schools want me to go play for them. I'm like, if you want me to go play for you, you know, so your women's team got to offer my wife too. And so that's how she went to Dodge City Junior College with me. My coach, you know, talked to the coach and got her on. And she handled the business, you know what I'm saying? She did a thing at JUCO. And then I passed up some opportunities after junior college, you know, NAIA, Division IIs, because they weren't trying to offer her. You know, one school was going to give me a full ride, was going to give her a partial and a red shirt. And she was not with the red shirt or the partial. And at the time, we didn't understand nothing really about the aftermath of, you know, student loans. So we was okay with the partial for real, but we was not okay with the red shirt. Yeah. So I ended up not going to this school who went deep into the playoff every year in NAIA, you know, and ended up going to a school where I ended up being hurt for most of the year. So, you know, I felt like that was just because I made the wrong decision. I was hurt that year. She ended up redshirting anyways at this school that we chose. Dang. So it was just a bad business altogether. But that's pretty cool because you played, you know, hoops with your wife, and I did the same thing. So that's cool.
She was we walk in the gym and she's in there. Man, my wife is like 5'4".
Yeah,
5'4", little Asian thing, and the strength and conditioning coach is like, she's gonna teach you guys how to lift. I said, I'm not about to learn how to lift.
She's gonna teach y'all how to lift
because they did a Olympic lifting. So the power snatches and the cleans and the pulls and all that kind of stuff. So that is where I didn't know this. So that is when I started gaining the weight. My freshman year, I put on 15 pounds in a hurry. And so in high school, this goes back to the football thing too. I wasn't big enough. I was 6'2", I was 165 pounds and soaking wet. And so I was thin, super thin. I always had the frame, but I didn't have the shoulders, I didn't have the arms, I didn't have the chest, I didn't have any of that stuff because I didn't take working out seriously in high school. I will admit, I was the one that I would sit on the dumbbells instead of trying to lift them things. And so I was seeing the defensive guys, like I said, and like, these dudes are too big. Are they gonna break me in half?
That's why you ain't picked football.
So that I didn't go. I didn't feel like I was big enough, and then I could take all that. But what I didn't know was that you put on the freshman 15. The moment you get there,
whether it's fat or muscle, it's coming on.
It's coming. You're gonna put it on. So I didn't know that. Nobody told me that. And so, literally a month or two in my freshman campaign, I went from 160 something. I was 185, and that was just from actually lifting and eating right, because that was the other thing too. I didn't eat that much, so I didn't eat that much. I didn't work out. I just played. But when you get into college, you're eating this many meals a day, you're working out twice a day, and you're playing. And so I started putting on weight big, and I loved it because then I was like, I'm bouncing off of dudes and I don't even feel it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, and I'm doing that and I'm finishing through contact. Like, why?
And you banging on dudes.
Yeah, it became super easy. So in college, my vertical was 40. I had a 40-inch vertical. So that even increased. I'm like, man, if I would take this stuff seriously in high school.
Power clean.
Yeah. I knew nothing about that. And we did Olympic lifting in high school, but I didn't take it seriously. I did not take it seriously.
Wow.
And so that would be my message to the young kids today is
don't waste no reps.
Don't waste any reps, man. I've been there and done that. You think you got it figured out, but man, there's just so much out there that you don't even know.
Definitely
that to
get
just,
your body ready.
Honestly, the people that your coaches, people that are talking to you, they know. You gotta listen and do what they're saying. Be coachable.
Be coachable. Man, that's a great message, man.
Because
that's a great message.
But man, if that's one thing that I regret. I don't regret many things, but I regret not working as hard as I could have.
Because you were just naturally gifted.
Because I was just naturally gifted, and I knew I was already above a lot of people that had the wrong mindset in that regard, in that department. But
it goes back to that
definitely could have.
I was about to say, yeah, that wasn't your fault.
Yeah,
you got the juice at a young age, and when that happens, we gonna keep drinking that same juice.
I'm not perfect. I don't try to be. I just try to be better than I was yesterday.
For sure.
But at that age, I was so mad, I think, at the basketball stuff, because I know I was better than where I was, and that I didn't end up at Cal Berkeley like I wanted to with Bach. And the thing about that too is that he went to Cal Berkeley 4 years, and I went to Cal 4 years. I played more minutes, more games than he did at Cal.
Message.
And so then it became well, do you want to go to a big school and get all the gear and all the swag and stuff? That's all great, but you want to ride the bench? Or you want to go to another school, it doesn't have to be a D1, and play the entire
have
time.
fun.
But that's
when you gonna do?
That's why I tell kids, go where they want you.
Go
Not
where
where
they
you want to
want
go where they want you.
Yes.
If they want you, they obviously got their best interest in mind for you.
Absolutely.
We're going to end it right there, man, because I know I kept you way longer than you're supposed to be kept.
That's all right.
Man, Tony, you got anything to say to him?
Not much, man. He dropping them gems off today for y'all, so I hope y'all tuning in.
He dropped them gems off. My man J5 came through, put down a gem that he picked up in these gyms in basketball. Saved your life for real, man.
It
Saved your
absolutely.
life. And, hopefully my man message can do a lot for somebody out there that's listening. It ain't got to save your life, but if it takes you and puts you on a different path, then it did its job.
Absolutely.
Appreciate y'all for hanging out with us, and holla at your boy.
Deuce.